Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Ink Finger Cat. I have decided that this year I'm going to really attempt to make at least 12 masculine projects. I really don't like making cards for boys. I like flowers and pinks and pretty things. And I really struggle with boy cards. So I thought, right, at least once a month I'm going to do a Make It Masculine project. And I'm going to do them all on YouTube. I hope. That's the plan. Let's see if we manage it all 12 months. So we're here. It's the end of January. First one's coming here. I thought today's theme, I would go industrial. So think a bit steampunky, a bit Tim Holtzy. Actually, the stamp set I'm using is Indigo Blu. And it was one that I got in a magazine years ago. But that's what I'm using. But I'm using all my distress inks and I'm making a funky background with browns and greys. Pretty much Tim Holtzy. So started off with just basically splodging some ink on. Then I did a bit of rubbing the ink direct onto the paper. Now I'm sort of stamping with the ink, just some of those background stamps that are in this stamp set. No rhyme, no reason. I suppose the thing that I do. Oh, did I say do? I did say do. The thing that I do when I'm making these sorts of backgrounds is I do keep to horizontal and vertical. I try not to do diagonals because I think it confuses the eye a little bit when it's this messy. But that's what I try to do. Okay, I've added in a little bit of stenciling and I'm going to add in a little bit more now. Just to add again a little bit more interest in the background, but I don't actually know where that number stencil is from. I bought it secondhand from someone. But yeah, I've just kind of kept it to quite grungy looking things. So there was a bit of brick in there and again, you know, the numbers and then similar again on the stamps that I've used. I did do a bit of splatter. You probably can't see it on the end product, but I just can't not do splatter. And then this is me deciding what to do. And originally I was going to go with brown, and then I thought, no, I'm going to go with black. So I have stamped using my Versamark ink, the light bulb. And I've done it twice because at this point I've already decided I'm going to do slimline cards. As I was creating this panel, which could have been cut in many different ways, could have made one, could have made two cards, I've ended up deciding I was going to make 2 slimline cards. Don't know why, just that's what I felt like doing. Here I am stamping that light bulb again, and unfortunately I had not dried off the ink properly, so it doesn't matter because it's for the background, but it did catch that embossing powder, which is the baked texture from Seth Apter in kind of like a rusty type finish. It did catch some of those numbers that I had stenciled, so I probably should have left it to dry longer. Probably should have done my fussy cut in, maybe used an embossing buddy. That would have been clever. But I didn't, because this is me and I don't do things like that. Anyway, I fussy cut out my light bulbs and now I am just trimming the panels a little bit. They're slightly different sizes, so they are going to both be different cards, but don't care. It'll be fine. I'm making my card blanks out of some cream cardstock because I thought the cream would go well with the browns, etc. And now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Again, I'm using the same stamp set, just kept it simple. And I am heat embossing with the white detail powder again. Now, this is probably a bit painful to watch because it takes forever. I take forever chopping up these sentiments. In fact, I'm going to whiz us into faster forward now. That's better. You don't have to watch it quite as painfully as it took. It must have taken me up a good 4 minutes to do that. It just was ridiculous. Anyway, back up to normal speed, as in ×5. I never do any of my videos in normal speed because I think making these cards took me about an hour. You don't need to watch an hour's worth of crafting. And I definitely don't need to do a voiceover for that long. Okay, so where am I up to? I have chosen some black brads because I thought the black brads would work with the black sentiment and the main focal image. I'm going to just edge this panel. This is the slightly slimmer of the panels, and I'm edging that with my archival ink. And I'm praying it won't smudge onto and that it's dried nice and quickly, because I'm going to put it straight onto the card blank. And the card blank is a little bit mucky because that embossing powder that I use, that Seth Apter stuff, yeah, I didn't do a good job of brushing it all away after I'd finished heating it up. Now, at this point, I decide, right, I'm going to just mount my sentiments a little bit more. So I'm going to do both of them at the same time. And again, there's a little bit of a painful moment of watching me cut these out really close to the edge of the trimmer, trying to work out how to do it. I end up just doing it with one happy and one birthday. I do also ink up the edge of this one. Can't remember if I do it on the second one or not. But I ink up the edge of the cream just to give it another frame, really. And at this point, I spot this like coppery thread that I've got a tiny little bit left of, just enough to make these two cards. It's been sitting on the desk for ages, so it's time to get it used. You'll see here, I'm also adding sort of like little scraps of cardstock behind that light bulb, because I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. And this one, I keep quite simple because I've put the 4 brads at each corner, and then I just put the focal image with the sentiment underneath it. This one, I grabbed some craft foam, and for this I'm going to I add the red line tape, but I also add some glue just to make sure it stays nice and sturdy and glued in place. And this time I've chosen the larger black brads. I don't do a great job of lining them up, do I? They're a bit wonky, but never mind. And I decide that I'm going to put my sentiment over to the side. I'm going to do the same with the thread, but I really wanted something to just break up that background a bit. And I spotted this scrap of grid type design paper. And it's kind of a little bit rainbow. It sort of goes from a purple to a teal, but I just ink it up with the brown to make it fit in, and then ink the edge with the archival again, just to give it a bit of a frame. And I think that that's going to work nicely to just break up that background. So as I say, 2 cards that are very similar, but they do both go in a different direction. Okay, realised at this point desperately needed to clean up both my hands and the mat because they are so mucky. I'm going to get fingerprints everywhere if I'm not careful. Okay, so now it's just a simple gluing it down job. So decide my sentiment's going up there, plonk something heavy on it to just keep it in place, and then I fiddle with that thread. I know you can't really see the thread very well on the video, but I promise you it's there, promise. But yeah, just to create a bundle, and then just use that leftover foam again to just mount it up and add it a little bit. Now I've got this little bit of cream cardstock left, so I'm going to take that stencil again and just add a little bit of interest to the inside panels. That's what these are going to be, inside panels. So I'm just inking up the edges just to give them a bit of difference. Then I'm going to take the same sentiment, stamp it in black, and then that same light bulb and stamp it in the weathered wood. And then that's just going to be my insert for both cards. As you can see, slightly different sizes, it really doesn't matter, but that's me done. So first of the Make It Masculine challenge has been done and achieved, and what's more, I made 2 cards. That wasn't the plan, but I have made 2 cards. So join me towards the end of February to see what I do next for my next lot of masculine cards. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I'm not a regular routine poster, so it's always good to hit that so you know when I've put a new video out. And obviously like, subscribe, what I'm going to say, comment below, do you like making boy cards, or you like me and you prefer girl cards? Having said that, I do love these ones, they are lovely, they're just not my go-to. So let's try and get some more masculine ones done this year. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.